The end of the road for Velma. What's gonna happen now?
Hey, no offense, but can we just let the actual doctor explain? Just being a white guy with a clipboard doesn't cut it anymore.
Oh, okay. Hating both white men and white people. We're used to this.
I'm a teddy bear. I'm named after Theodore Roosevelt, a wealthy demagogue who massacred indigenous people in the name of imperialism.
White imperialism? Yeah!
Not wanted!
But would you arrest her if someone like me said someone like her was bothering him?
Well, yeah, that would do it.
Oh, more racism against white people.
No, you won't, Velma, because not only are you brilliant, who more than you would truly appreciate the advantages of being a handsome, rich, white man?
She actually said white man. Howdy, y'all. I'm Adam, the Renaissance Nerd, coming to you with the conclusion of my coverage of Velma. I'm going to be brutally honest here. I got a lot of stuff wrong. Oh, if you think I'm about to say that this show ended strong and I was wrong about everything I've said for 4 weeks up until now, no, that's not where I'm going. No, I'm disappointed because this show didn't go full retard. It didn't go full stupid, which would have been great for content. No, it went the disappointing route that all woke SJW content goes. It just doubled down on its ideology. Didn't do anything great. Didn't do anything groundbreaking. They just continued beating the dead horse that they've been doing for now 5 weeks of white people bad, white men bad, patriarchy bad, girl power, girl bosses, women are great, especially women of color. At the same time, filled with degeneracy, hatred for the IP that is Scooby-Doo, and so much more. Oh, and guess what? They pushed so hard, so very hard with that Alphabet Mafia agenda, only to queer bait you at the very end. That's right, guys. They queer baited right at the finale moment. We're going to get to it. I don't want to spend, again, too much time with this because, as I said, I'm disappointed. I am disappointed. Why? I'm just going to say right now, they didn't go girl brain in dog. They didn't do it. It was right there for the taking, and they didn't do it. And I'm massively disappointed I was wrong about that. What else am I wrong about? I kind of hinted that Velma's mom might have been the murderer, but no, she wasn't. They tried to make you think she was for a second, but then no, it was just part of the way for Velma to be perfect and great and figure everything out, because Velma's a girl boss now. And she did it by defeating another girl boss. We'll get to that. You saw it in the opening clips. What it boils down to is this show's about hate. It's about hate for white people. White men, the patriarchy. They even pushed aside their Alphabet Mafia agenda to get to that. Why? I'll tell you why. Because they don't really care about the rights of the alphabet community, the normal alphabet community. They just like using it as a weapon to beat you over the head with. Let's get into the story, though, as quickly as possible, and then we'll break it down, and then we're out. We are done with Velma, hopefully forever. Because I didn't enjoy this. It's not even fun to make fun of because it's such a wet fart. That's no fun. They did get one laugh out of me though, and I'll when I show you, they got one laugh out of me. It was legitimate, but then they didn't even go far enough. They had a perfect opportunity to do something over the top and disgusting, but they can't make Velma look bad. They can't really insult her any farther than that up to that line because she's a girl boss. What happened? Episode 9, Velma's mom is back, Dia's back, and basically episode 9 is a giant filler episode. That's right, the penultimate episode is one giant piece of filler trash. It's all about the fact that Dia has amnesia. She can't remember who the serial killer is, but in 72 hours, if she doesn't remember then, she's never going to remember at all. So you get one giant episode of Velma being horrible to her friends and her family in order to get her mom to remember who the serial killer is. Supposedly she's doing this because she loves her mom. But she's really doing it for the selfish reasons of, I need to solve this mystery. I mean, again, Velma's selfish behavior, her narcissism is just on display, and they think they're being clever about it, but no, they're disgusting, because at the very end of the show, they reward her for her narcissism. They reward her for her bad behavior. She becomes girl boss supreme by beating another girl boss. Again, I'll get to it. Well, it's already been spoiled in the opening clip. Either way. The entire episode is just filled with man-hating jokes. You make all the men look pathetic and stupid. All the men look like beta males, because at one point they convince Dia that the new baby in the house is Velma's, because she doesn't want her mom to know that her dad, basically, they say cheated on her. I don't know, missing, presumed dead. I don't know if that's really cheating. I guess he moved on. But they pretend that the baby is Velma's and Norval's, and they go through all this stuff. And it's just stupid. It's disgusting. It's terrible. Although, like I said, they got one moment where at one point when Velma's being forced to take care of the baby, she wakes up in the middle of the night and baby Amanda is standing. I know, she's a couple weeks old and she's standing, whatever. She's standing on Velma's stomach, ready to take a giant dump on her. Going, ah! I did laugh because you had some decent toilet humor and a good sight gag. Congratulations, you got one genuine chortle hefty belly laugh out of me, because I thought the baby was about to take a dump on Velma's stomach, but they didn't do it. They didn't do it because Norval comes in and gets her away with a diaper before she could do it. I wanted it, but they can't have Velma be insulted and covered in poop, I guess. You had a moment right there. Would have been genuinely funny if the baby had just taken a crap on Velma. Because guess what? Velma is covered in crap. This show is shit. The rest of the episode is, again, stupid. It's Velma being mean and pushing everybody away for her own selfish desires, to not so much have her mom get her memory back, but her mom to tell her the major clue. Meanwhile, Daphne and Fred are being ostracized by the girl brains. I know, whatever. The girl brains are ostracizing them, and you get a whole episode of Fred looking like an idiot. Guess what? White men are dumb. And Daphne looking like a girl boss, being powerful and strong and cozying up to Fred's mom, who now wants to mentor her. That's the episode. That's episode 9 in a nutshell. And at the very end, Dia remembers that she has seen, I guess, the murderer, but when she realizes it's her, oh, she's the serial killer. I know, but everybody's like, oh no, now Velma becomes bad, because now Velma, by ignoring Norval hates Velma. Daphne is ignoring Velma because she's going for popularity with Fred, and then Velma caught them kissing when they were pretending to be together, and now Velma's angry at Daphne, and it's dumb. The story moved along. All you needed was a minute to move the story along. You didn't need a giant 25-minute episode of amnesia hijinks and Velma being mean to everybody. Episode 10, the finale. Again, I'm disappointed. We had a chance for girl brain to go in dog, but we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. What we got instead, and I'm just going to jump right to it, after a long and very boring walk towards the finale, you get the reveal of Velma tracking down Daphne and Fred after they've been kidnapped by the serial killer, because she realizes that the serial killer was all about hypnotizing people, because her mom was hypnotized to be confessing to the murders. And then Velma remembers that she got hypnotized as a child to forget she saw the serial killer at the abduction site of her mother. Yeah. And that's why she had her delusions, because she was hypnotized. But now Velma's strong enough to go and do it herself. But problem is, during this whole thing, Norval has effed off. He's like, and that's the smartest thing he could have done. He's going to go to a private school where it's geek boy heaven. And the smartest thing in the world would have been to ditch freaking Velma. But then Velma, after getting told off by Gigi in the girls' shower room, listens to all of Norval's old voicemails. You know, remember the original gag in episode 1 where Norval does nothing but leave her voicemails? She listens to years worth of them. And we go through a montage of now Velma looks like she's in love. She misses Norval. And at one point when she's going down into the well, which is the secret passage to the hidden lab of Norval's grandmother, where the serial killer is performing their experiments, she leaves him a voicemail when she thinks she's going to die, hanging on a rope surrounded by bats. And she says, I'm sorry I hurt you. Love you. And then she's like, wait, no, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, no. And then she falls, blah, blah, blah. And then we end up at the finale, the climactic moment, where Velma confronts the serial killer who's about to perform brain surgery and switch Fred and Daphne's brains. Why? Because we discover, after a silly, clunky fight where Velma uses perfume to summon bats, again, making fun of Scooby-Doo lore, you know, the whole bat noises and the bat swarming, making fun of Scooby-Doo again, to distract the serial killer so she can hit her with something and then tie her up. Oh, her. I'm sorry. Well, it's Fred's mom. I think her name was Victoria. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Fred's mom is the villain because she is the daughter of the general who was in charge of the Scooby Project. And she's also the true mastermind, the true power of Jones Industry, or whatever it's called, the Jones family. She's the true mastermind because the father's a dumbass. Fred is a dumbass. She's the brilliant businesswoman. Girl boss, as it were. She's the girl boss. She's an old, white, evil girl boss. That's our villain of the show. And at the same time, patriarchy is also the villain of our show. Because we discovered that Norval's woman of color grandmother, brilliant brain neurosurgeon, she perfected the Scooby Project. She did it. She could swap the brains. But then, evil patriarchy general man, he pushed her out, took all the credit for himself, then had her committed, even though she never went insane. She was just filled with a lust for revenge. But because he couldn't replicate the experiment without her notes or her, and Velma's mom got the notes, he couldn't find the notes. Later on, Velma's mom gets the notes when Victoria goes looking for her, and that's why she kidnaps her and keeps her stashed for an alibi to blame it all on her. I don't know. They don't really go that far into making it clear. Anyway, no, so the destruction of the family because patriarchy stole the work of a woman of color, a brilliant woman of color, and then couldn't follow through without the brilliant woman of color. Yeah. And so Victoria's whole motivation is to first put a beautiful, smart woman of color's, popular woman of color girl brain in her stupid dunce son, who's an idiot. Meanwhile, at the same time, she then realizes after she, first of this and that. Okay, so she manages to get the drop on everybody because she hypnotized the father to come in. And you saw the clip in the beginning of the intro. She says to Velma, I can't go with a pretty girl because pretty girls don't understand. But you, Velma, you're brilliant. You're smart. You figured all this out, and you're also a woman of color. You'll understand. That's why that how much men don't get it, that they have all this power and ability. They squander it because they're stupid men. But I'm going to put the brain of a brilliant young woman of color in a white man's head. Yeah, you saw that. I told you. She actually says white. I mean, we say that in our sphere to make fun of them, but she actually said white man. White. And Velma pretends to go along with it in order to make Fred rage out because they established in the previous episode or earlier this episode that Fred can have retard strength when he gets angry. That's right. The white boy gets retard strength when he gets angry and he flips out. And here's for a moment again, they trick you. The idiot writers of this show, Mindy Kaling, all of them trick you. For a second, Fred breaks free, beats up his dad. I mean, yeah, let's disrespect dads some more because dads are all shat all over this movie. Velma's dad is shat all over. Norval's dad is shat all over. And let's shit all over Fred's dad too. They're all dumb and stupid, sleazy, or betas. That's it. That's the archetype of men in this show. Betas, dumb, stupid, or a sleazebag, a scumbag. That's it. That's how this show sees men in general. Man-hating. Fred beats up his dad, takes the gun that he was holding, and looks competent for a minute. Fred is in control. Sudden's like, wow, Velma, thanks for being honest. Now that I've heard all this honesty about stuff, I'm clear-headed. I'm not a stupid white boy anymore. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to go get my mom and take care of this. Of course, then they immediately steal Fred's thunder, having him be competent, having him be sort of a hero, I guess, by having him fall prey to his mother saying, oh, I'm not evil. I'm possessed by a ghost. So then Fred believes her and she takes the gun. And when she's about to kill everybody, here we go. She's about to kill Velma and Daphne, or at least she's probably going to kill him and start all over again with Fred. She can't kill Fred. She needs him alive for a brain swap. Velma and Daphne are faced with this moment of death, life-threatening situation. And they confess their love for each other. And they don't have the lustful kiss that we got in episode 2. We have the passionate I love you kiss. But then after that, after Daphne says I love you, Velma goes, I love you, Norval. That's right, guys. 10 episodes of pushing the not-so-secret alphabet mafia agenda, pushing two women into a relationship, which, fine, if you're going to do it, just do it. Don't dance around and do it. And for a moment, you think, okay, they're going to do it. They're going to be a couple. No! She says, I love you, Norval. That looks like queer baiting to me, guys. That looks like queer baiting to me. We promise you the gay relationship, but then we don't give it to you. And I'm sorry, Daphne's gay moms don't count. They don't count because they're established and they're made also to be incompetent and stupid at the same time. No, you're going to get our heroine couple. But no, you don't. You don't. And as she says, I love you, Norval, it's like, oh no, that pisses off Daphne. Doesn't matter because then Norval, who got the message, shows up out of the blue. How he got there, I don't know. I don't think Velma told him where she was. I don't remember in her voicemail. I don't know. Either way, Norval shows up, swings down the well rope line, and he's hanging there. Victoria, again, I think that's her name. I don't know anymore. Says, okay, fine, I'm going to shoot you all, starting with you. She fires she shoots at Norval, but Norval manages to slap the bullet aside with his sword. He has a sword. He deflects it with his sword, and a single bullet hits a stalactite. I think it's stalactite and stalagmite. If I'm wrong, I always get them confused. Anyway, hits a piece of rock, and the rock comes loose and falls down, killing Fred's mom. Norval comes down, sees what he did, and goes into a barfing fit because he just killed somebody. And I guess for some people that would be a reaction. You either have the killer instinct or you don't. That's fine. But he's a beta male, so he doesn't really have the killer instinct. So while he's throwing up, everybody's astonished. Fred's like, no, mommy dead. The ghost did it. I mean, Fred thinks the ghost possessed his mother. Daphne's still upset that Velma said, I love you, Norval. And Velma is standing there, all of them covered in blood, mind you, cheering, I solved the case. I solved the case. I'm awesome. I beat the old white lady girl boss. I'm great. That's it. We get an epilogue where Velma admits that her personal life is crap because all her friends now hate each other. Fred and Norval hate each other because Fred blames Norval for the death of his mom. Norval is having a nervous breakdown because he killed somebody, and his beta school guidance counselor dad says, and you get a shot of Norval, he's starting to get little unshavenness going on like actual Shaggy. And he says, I can't focus. I can't sleep. My grades are slipping. Dad, what do I do? Have you tried marijuana, son? I know. And then you see Daphne being trained by her moms, all fit and hard. And meanwhile, Velma's giving a monologue of how this was just the beginning. We get hints of another murderer in town. And Velma's being praised. She's the great and powerful girl boss now. the girl boss of color, the young brown girl boss, defeated the old white girl boss while all the men were incompetent. Because at the very end, the police chief, after basically being told off by Velma, I was right, here's all my stuff. Here's the evidence. You can put it away in your solved folder. While he's putting away that, he gets murdered by somebody. By a ghost, apparently. We think the ghost of Norval's grandmother. And also, Velma's being horrible to her dad and his girlfriend by locking them out of the house so her and her mom could watch movies together and eat popcorn. That's Velma, guys. 5 weeks in, I can definitively break it down for you. What is Velma? Velma is this in 10 parts. 3 parts, racism, especially against white men. 2 parts, hating men. Patriarchy bad. Another 3 parts, the not-so-secret alphabet mafia agenda. Then 1 part, not understanding how real people behave. And 1 part, degeneracy. All covered in an unfunny frosting. Seriously, we learned in this show nothing. They didn't actually tell a story. They lectured you for 10 episodes about how terrible white people are, how bad men are, how incompetent men are, and that the patriarchy is holding women back. It's key, especially women of color, because look, our final boss was a old white lady girl boss, but she was evil, and things are only good when another girl boss of color can beat her, because white men can't do it, boys can't do it. Let's see, as I said, the not-so-secret agenda of the Alphabet Mafia on full display in this show across from now you get a part of that degeneracy in there too, where you got a blatant sexualization of young women. You've got the let's push gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I mean, seriously, if you're going to do it, just do it. Don't cover it in bad character development. Just have them be in a relationship and have them actually behave like people. But then again, they don't understand how to be people. But in the end, they couldn't even do that. They couldn't even give you Velma Daphne. They queer baited you, because by my definition, when you tease something for an entire season, i.e., Velma and Daphne in a lesbian relationship, and then at the final moment where they have not the lust-filled kiss that we saw in episode 2, but the passion-filled, I'm willingly doing this kiss, and then have one say I love you and the other one say I love a guy, that's queer baiting. You did not get the gay relationship. Queer baiting. And as I said, degeneracy plus not understanding how real people behave. They think that everything that goes on, this is how men behave. They think men are either betas, cruel, sleazebags, scumbags, or degenerates, as well as just plain stupid. And you know what? I'm out. I was championing a season 2 because if they had gone full girl, brain, and dog, I was going to be all over it. But now, I'm done. This isn't even fun to make fun of anymore. It was entertaining taking a dump on this for 4 weeks because it was just more stupid, and I thought they were building to girl, brain, and dog, and that would have been manna from heaven for content. But now, I guess this is what, like I said earlier, this is what you expect from woke-tards, from SJWs, from virtue signalers, intersectional feminists. They're going to disappoint you because they have one trick, their ideology. And when they're done preaching at you, that's all they got. They're not even creative enough to be stupid insane. They're just plain old insane. So I guess I'm done. Thank you, Velma, for 5 weeks of garbage, trash, filth. Well, my channel liked it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next review. I'm going back to Hogwarts Legacy. Take it easy. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you'd like to reach out to me, please email me at theranernerd@gmail.com for all channel business purposes. I am on Twitter now, mostly for promotion and sharing of videos, maybe a little shit stirring here and there, who knows, @theranernerd. You can also find me at the Geeks and Gamers forums under @ROAS, and you can see me on Rumble and Odyssey under the Renaissance Nerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.